The 1991 classic Boys in the Hood wasn't just a film, it was a cultural milestone. With its raw storytelling, gripping performances, and powerful social commentary, John Singleton's directorial debut became a defining piece of cinema that captured the struggles and resilience of life in South Central Los Angeles. Its success catapulted several actors into stardom, while leaving a lasting impact on audiences. Over the years, some of the talented stars who brought this story to life have sadly passed away. Let's take a look at 7 Boys and the Hood actors we've lost and remember their contributions. John Singleton as Mailman. John Singleton was born on January 6, 1968, in Los Angeles, California. At just 23 years old, he took on a minor yet symbolic role as the mailman in Boys in the Hood, 1991. But his true impact was felt behind the camera. As the film's visionary director, he brought to life a gripping and unfiltered portrayal of life in South Central Los Angeles, capturing both its harsh realities and unspoken hopes. His groundbreaking work earned him an Academy Award nomination for Best Director, making history as the youngest filmmaker and first African-American ever nominated in the category. His influence didn't stop there. Singleton continued to shape cinema with films like Poetic Justice and Shaft, blending social consciousness with powerful storytelling. Away from the spotlight, Singleton's personal life was marked by complexity. He fathered 7 children from multiple relationships, but never publicly spoke of a lasting marriage. While his professional achievements continued, his health quietly declined due to hypertension, a condition that would ultimately prove fatal. In April 2019, he suffered a stroke, and on April 29th, he passed away in Los Angeles at the age of 51. Dedric D as Dookie. Dedric D was born on November 25, 1971, in Los Angeles, California. At only 20, he stepped into the role of Dookie in Boys and the Hood, 1991, a character defined by his ever-present pacifier, a silent yet haunting emblem of innocence amid chaos. His quiet demeanor contrasted with the violence that surrounded him, making Dookie a subtle but memorable figure in the film's landscape of lost youth. His performance resonated, earning him roles in Poetic Justice and Higher Learning, both helmed by Singleton, hinting at a career that could have flourished. Yet, beyond the screen, Gobert's life took a darker turn. While little is known about his relationships or personal struggles, legal issues began to follow him, casting a shadow over his rising career. Then, in a cruel twist that mirrored the very stories he portrayed, tragedy struck. On November 19, 1994, at just 22 years old, Gobert was gunned down during an argument at an illegal street race in Mira Loma, California. Lloyd Avery II as Knucklehead. Lloyd Avery II was born on June 21, 1969, in Los Angeles, California. At 22, he found himself embodying one of Boys in the Hood's most chilling antagonists, Knucklehead, the gang member responsible for the brutal shooting of Ricky Baker. His role was brief but unforgettable, with his menacing presence lingering even after his character's death at the hands of Doughboy. The performance opened doors for Avery, landing him a part in Poetic Justice and positioning him for more roles in Hollywood's grittier narratives. But as his on-screen characters grew darker, so too did his off-screen path. Raised in a middle-class home, Avery had once been far from the violence he depicted. Yet, in a tragic twist, fiction bled into reality. He never married, and his life spiraled into crime, culminating in a conviction for double murder in 2001. Incarcerated at Pelican Bay State Prison, his story took its most horrific turn when he was killed by a fellow inmate in a ritualistic attack on September 4, 2005, in Crescent City, California. Lexi Bigum as Mad Dog. Lexi Bigum was born on August 4, 1968, in Chicago, Illinois. At just 23, he stepped into the role of Mad Dog in Boys and the Hood, 1991, delivering a chilling performance as a ruthless gang member whose involvement in Ricky Baker's murder solidified him as one of the film's most menacing figures. His sharp intensity and unflinching portrayal added to the raw authenticity of the movie, making the violence on screen feel disturbingly real. Beyond Boyz n the Hood, Bigum's talent shone in projects like South Central and C7, proving his ability to seamlessly embody complex, gritty characters. Yet while his star was on the rise, the details of his personal life remained largely out of the public eye. No records of marriage or children exist, leaving much of his off-screen world a mystery. But just as his career was gaining momentum, tragedy struck. On December 17, 1995, at only 27 years old, Bigum's promising future was cut short when he lost his life in a fatal car accident in Los Angeles, California. Jesse Lawrence Ferguson as Officer Coffey. Jesse Lawrence Ferguson was born on June 8, 1941, in the Bronx, New York. At 50, he took on the role of Officer Coffey in Boyz n the Hood, 1991. Portraying a corrupt African-American cop whose abuse of power made him one of the film's most despised yet unforgettable characters. His performance was a stark reminder of the deep-seated issues of systemic racism and internalized oppression, themes that resonated far beyond the screen. With his commanding presence and seasoned delivery, Ferguson brought an unsettling authenticity to the role, turning Officer Coffey into a symbol of the film's harsh reality. His career extended well beyond this film, with standout roles in The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai and Prince of Darkness, solidifying his reputation as a compelling character actor. Despite his success in Hollywood, little is documented about Ferguson's personal life. Whether he was married or had children remains unclear, as he maintained a quiet existence away from the limelight. However, in his later years, health issues began to take their toll. On April 26, 2019, at the age of 77, he passed away in Palmdale, California, from a heart attack. Though his life came to a close, his commanding performances continue to resonate, ensuring his impact on cinema endures. Esther Scott as Tisha's grandmother. Esther Scott was born on April 13, 1953, in Los Angeles, California. At 38, she brought warmth and humor to Boyz n the Hood, 1991, as Tisha's grandmother, a character whose nurturing presence provided a brief but meaningful contrast to the film's heavier themes. With her expressive delivery and natural charm, she left a lasting impression, demonstrating her ability to bring heart to any role, no matter how small. But Boyz n the Hood was just the beginning of a long and fruitful career. Scott's talent extended across television and film, earning her roles in The Pursuit of Happiness and voice work in The Emperor's New Groove, showcasing her versatility as both an actress and a voice artist. Despite her achievements on screen, Scott was a deeply private person when it came to her personal life. She rarely spoke about relationships or family, and no known records of a spouse or children exist. For most of her life, she enjoyed steady work and good health. But in early 2020, her condition took a sudden turn. On February 14, 2020, at the age of 66, she suffered a fatal heart attack in Los Angeles, California. Her passing was a great loss to the industry, but her vibrant performances continue to live on, reminding audiences of the warmth and joy she brought to every project she touched. Wittman Mayo as the Old Man. Wittman Mayo was born on November 15, 1930, in New York City, New York. At 61, he stepped into the role of the Old Man in Boyz n the Hood, 1991, portraying a quiet yet wise figure whose interactions with Furious Styles provided some of the film's most reflective moments. With just a few lines, he conveyed a lifetime of wisdom, offering a raw perspective on the struggles of the community. Though his time on screen was brief, his presence added depth to the film's larger message, reminding audiences that experience and history shape the fight for change. Yet for many, Mayo was already a familiar face. His most celebrated role came years earlier as Grady Wilson in Sanford and Son, where he became a beloved television icon, effortlessly blending comedy and heartfelt sincerity. Beyond his career, Mayo's personal life was marked by deep connections and a commitment to family. He married twice and raised 3 children, balancing his Hollywood career with his responsibilities at home. Even as his fame grew, he remained a grounded, humble figure, known for his warmth and generosity. But as the years passed, health issues began to take their toll. On May 22, 2001, at the age of 70, he passed away in Atlanta, Georgia, from a heart attack. His loss was felt across generations of fans who had come to love his humor, wisdom, and enduring presence on screen. Though he is gone, his work continues to resonate, a testament to a talent that could bring both laughter and reflection to audiences everywhere. However, some actors are still with us today, continuing to build their remarkable legacies over time. Let's explore together. Cuba Gooding Jr. as Trey Styles. Cuba Gooding Jr. was born on January 2, 1968, in the Bronx, New York. At the age of 23, he starred as Trey Styles in Boyz n the Hood in 1991, portraying a young man navigating the perils of South Central Los Angeles under his father's guidance, a role that became the emotional anchor of the film and showcased his ability to convey vulnerability and strength. This breakout performance launched him into stardom, leading to an Academy Award-winning turn as Rod Tidwell in Jerry Maguire and roles in acclaimed films like A Few Good Men and The Butler. Shifting to his personal life, Gooding married his high school sweetheart, Sarah Kapfer, in 1994, and they had 3 children before separating in 2014, with their divorce finalized in 2017. His later years were marred by legal troubles, including allegations of sexual misconduct from multiple women starting in 2018, which led to a guilty plea for forcible touching in 2022, casting a shadow over his once celebrated career. In 2025, Cuba Gooding Jr. is 57 years old, his journey reflecting both remarkable highs and challenging lows. Lawrence Fishburne as Furious Styles. Lawrence Fishburne was born on July 30, 1961, in Augusta, Georgia. At 30, he portrayed Furious Styles in Boyz n the Hood in 1991, a stern yet wise father whose lessons on responsibility and self-respect provided the moral backbone of the film, delivered with a gravitas that underscored his commanding presence. This role solidified his reputation, paving the way for iconic performances as Morpheus in the Matrix trilogy and appearances in Apocalypse Now and John Wick Chapter 4, earning him a Tony Award and multiple Emmy nominations. In his personal sphere, Fishburne married actress Hajna O. Moss in 1985, with whom he has 2 children, divorcing in the 1990s. He later wed Gina Torres in 2002, welcoming a daughter before their 2018 divorce. His life has remained relatively free of public scandal, focusing instead on a steady, respected career. In 2025, Lawrence Fishburne is 64 years old, a veteran artist whose influence endures. Ice Cube as Doughboy. Ice Cube, born O'Shea Jackson on June 15, 1969, in Los Angeles, California, entered the world of cinema with a bang. At 22, he debuted as Doughboy in Boyz n the Hood in 1991, embodying the complex older brother of Ricky Baker, a gang member whose mix of loyalty, rage, and philosophical depth left an indelible mark on the film's exploration of street life. Already a rap icon with NWA, this role launched his acting career, leading to hits like the Friday franchise, Barbershop, and 21 Jump Street, establishing him as a multifaceted entertainment powerhouse. Beyond the screen, Ice Cube married Kimberly Woodruff in 1992, and they have 5 children, maintaining a stable family life with no significant public controversies, though his outspoken lyrics and views have occasionally stirred debate. In 2025, Ice Cube is 56 years old, his legacy spanning music, film, and cultural influence. Angela Bassett as Reva Stiles. Angela Bassett was born on August 16, 1958, in New York City, New York. At 33, she took on the role of Reva Stiles in Boys in the Hood in 1991, portraying Trey's determined mother with a quiet strength that set the stage for his journey, her debut film role radiating both resolve and maternal care. This performance was a springboard to her Oscar-nominated portrayal of Tina Turner in What's Love Got to Do with It?, followed by standout roles in Black Panther and Waiting to Exhale, earning her 2 Golden Globes and a lasting reputation as a Hollywood titan. Turning to her personal life, Bassett married actor Courtney B. Vance in 1997, and they welcomed twins via surrogate in 2006, building a strong, enduring partnership free of notable public strife. In 2025, Angela Bassett is 67 years old, her grace and talent continuing to inspire. Morris Chestnut as Ricky Baker. Morris Chestnut was born on January 1, 1969, in Cerritos, California. At 22, he debuted as Ricky Baker in Boys and the Hood in 1991, bringing to life a promising high school football star whose tragic death in a drive-by shooting became one of the film's most heart-wrenching moments, his charm and innocence amplifying its emotional weight. This role kick-started a steady career, with highlights including the Best Man franchise and Rosewood, where he established himself as a reliable leading man in film and television. In his personal life, Chestnut married Pam Bice in 1995, and they have 2 children, maintaining a low-profile marriage without significant controversies, a testament to his grounded nature. In 2025, Morris Chestnut is 56 years old, his career thriving with a consistent presence in entertainment. Nia Long as Brandy. Nia Long was born on October 30, 1970, in Brooklyn, New York. At 20, she portrayed Brandy in Boys and the Hood in 1991, Trey's intelligent and devout girlfriend, whose relationship with him offered a glimpse of hope amid the violence, her understated performance adding depth to the film's coming-of-age narrative. This role propelled her into a successful career, with notable parts in Friday, Love Jones, and The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, earning her multiple NAACP Image Awards for her work in black cinema. On a personal note, Long has 2 sons, one from a prior relationship and one with former partner Ime Udoka, with whom she was engaged until their 2022 split amid his publicized affair scandal. She never married. In 2025, Nia Long is 55 years old, her resilience shining through both on and off the screen. Tyra Frell as Mrs. Baker. Tyra Frell was born on January 28, 1962, in Houston, Texas. At 29, she played Mrs. Baker in Boys in the Hood in 1991, the conflicted mother of Ricky and Doughboy, whose favoritism and emotional struggles painted a vivid picture of a family fractured by circumstance, her nuanced performance enriching the film's domestic tension. While this role remains one of her most recognized, Frell also appeared in White Men Can't Jump and Poetic Justice, building a solid career in supporting roles across film and TV. In her personal life, she married Don Carlos Bell in 1992, and they have 1 daughter, maintaining a private existence with no widely reported issues or scandals. In 2025, Tyra Frell is 63 years old, her contributions to the industry quietly enduring. Boys in the Hood remains a powerful and timeless film, thanks to the incredible performances of its cast. Though some of its stars are no longer with us, their legacy lives on through their work and the impact they left on audiences. Which performance from the film stood out to you the most? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.